Alright, people. Gonna talk Sundial. You know, I gotta do this disclaimer. Not a financial advisor. Nothing in this is meant to be financial advice. Just doing this for entertainment purposes. Blow off some steam. I'm an attorney, admitted in New York, but this does not have anything to do with my legal practice. Just by watching this video, that doesn't make me your attorney. You gotta get actually a retainer and do all that process. If you're dealing with the legal issue, don't rely on this video, for anything related to that legal issue. Go consult an attorney, pay for consultations, get good advice, get somebody that is admitted in the jurisdiction you're dealing with, that has experience with the issue you're dealing with, and, is a reasonable person. That's why you pay for consultations, so you can see where they're trying to take it. But here we got Sundial. If you've watched my videos, I've been telling everybody anywhere below 50 cents we should be buying, or I had been buying. And then I said if it gets about to 80 cents, somewhere around there, I'd be taking profits. So if you were following my senseless nonsense advice, or non-advice, I guess, you would have made some serious change, because I definitely bought in at that 45 mark, DCA'd, got my average price pretty low. And when it hit that 80 cents mark, I took profits. I was not playing around. But, I still heavily invested. I still have faith that this is going to jump even higher. I am aiming at above $1. I'm thinking this line right here with the orange dot and the blue line across between 125 and 130, that is the next time I think I'm going to take profits. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but that's where I'm going. So you see these lines, these trend lines I put in there. This is all, again, based on feelings. Nothing really all that scientific about it. But let's zoom out so you can see what exactly I've been talking about here as far as these trend lines. So let's shrink that down. So obviously, Sundial has had some tremendous IPO, and then kind of fell down from there. Then had a nice little rise back to above $2. Then fell down from there, and we've been in this serious downtrend from then on. So if we pull up a trend line here, this is probably, let's start from here, but if you're looking at it, we're talking about across these tops some serious action, but looks like we're breaking out of that. I don't think we're broken out yet, though, because if you look at this, and this is between March and June, so this cross over here is that mid-April mark, and I think that is really going to be our indicator to tell us whether we're going to skyrocket or not. By then, we should know about Schumer's bill and who's behind it, and whether the Republican bill that's out there is going to get any kind of real support. So we're pretty close to that mark here, and who knows really what's going to happen. But I think if it breaks above this X, then we're probably going to shoot up. Whether it's going to follow this line here, the first or the second line, who knows. Otherwise, I think if it doesn't break, it's going to go down along this line, and we'll drop back down to that 65 cents range, maybe a little lower. I put it in here at this is about 65 cents. So it's right below the 70 line. You can't really see. Let's see if I can. Yeah, if you see this line here, it's cutting in on a slope based on some previous resistance that we faced, that we kind of broke through. So I'm thinking that resistance converted to a support. If not, I think this downtrend will be an indicator as well as to how it would drop. But I don't see us going below that 65 cents mark anytime soon. I mean, it's altogether possible. Who knows? If not, we'd be dropping down to that 48 cents mark. The worst. We still got plenty of time to get back into compliance with NASDAQ, so I don't think that's going to be a real issue. I think the earnings report tomorrow is going to be the real issue, and what they're saying, whether the acquisition of Alcana went through, and what's going on with their liquor industry as well as their marijuana retailers and all of that. I don't expect that they're going to have any revenue projections related to that company, but that could be a nice surprise if they've managed to try to meld some of that and give us some predictions for what's coming on in the future. It could be a real catalyst. So we have that catalyst, and then we have all the marijuana laws that are supposed to be introduced in April, which is obviously the 4/20 type month. So it's a big marijuana month. So let's see what happens. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the New York marijuana laws, which they've, gone fully recreational, and they're eventually talking about growing. I think that might have some impact, but I wanted to talk about rights and things like that, because there's some surprising things in there that relate to the stigmas surrounding marijuana. And I think that's heavily influenced the bill. One clear example is in a sanctioned cigar lounge where you could smoke those stinky cigars, you are not allowed to smoke marijuana. Like, what kind of ridiculous shit is that? Other than you're gonna offend a cigar smoker? I mean, if they could even smell it, But that's the life that we're living in, the world we're living in. So we're still some ways away, but we'll see what happens. I definitely have some funny stories about at least one case that I took to trial that was on a nuisance for the smell of marijuana that landlord completely failed on. And I don't do landlord-tenant law, but I jumped in because of the marijuana issue, and it was hilarious. A spry woman in her, let's say, late 70s jumped up in the middle of the trial to reprimand the landlord about how ridiculous they were being about marijuana. It was very hilarious. It was one of those interesting court cases. But for another time, definitely want to do the video talking about stigma and some other issues. And I can definitely tell tons of stories of dealing with people in marijuana and they're being offended by the smell of it. But enough said on that. Let's see what's going on. This small little bar here, there's like between the X, the lower one. I think that's what we're following. And I'm hopeful that we're gonna surpass that X and go up to $1. Hopefully $1.30. We'll see what happens. But it'll be exciting next couple of weeks. Definitely expect volatility. And like I said, I hope you took some profits around that 80 cents range. I don't know if it's too late now. That's something, talk to your financial advisor about. But good luck out there. You know how I always say, trust no one, people. So make your own decisions, do your own research, and, watch your sources, check your sources. Definitely important. All right, be safe.